Legislator, if conscription is extended to a year, what measures does the legislator need to take in terms of party consensus and making sure the right policies are in place?
We just have to take note of it. So there will be no public hearings. There won't be any voting on the decision. So the decision will be valid right away after the executive yuan passed it.
How do you believe conscription from 4 months to 1 year will enhance Taiwan's defense capabilities?
Obviously, we change our force structure. In other words, there will be a defense forces in defending the homeland. And the conscriptions will be basically focusing on that particular area. And more importantly, we are trying to increase our defense capabilities. And by extending the conscription system from 4 months to 1 year, will be definitely strengthen our deterrence.
Will they work with civil groups such as with the Taiwan Forward Alliance?
I think most importantly, it will send a very strong signal to the other side of Taiwan Strait, but also to other countries that Taiwan is very determined and very committed to our own defense. So that is the most important thing. But more importantly, in the face of the rising China's military activities, in the face of China's rising threat, it's very important for us to beef up our defense.
We've also seen the American Institute in Taiwan come right out to congratulate and also send their support in terms of this change. Are there more initiatives with the U.S. and working on with this 1 year extension?
In terms of how to train our soldiers, we've been learning from other countries as to how they train their soldiers, especially for the Americans. They've been fighting in real wars. So their experiences are very enlightening, very helpful for us to develop our own programs of training our soldiers.
And in terms of the substantial training, as you mentioned, will the U.S. will be sending troops or sending their military training support to
I don't
help?
think they will be sending their troops or soldiers to help Taiwan, but obviously their experiences and their module of training their soldiers will be useful for us to copy and to learn.
So there will be trainers, not troops in terms of defense, but in terms of training.
In terms of programs, there will be a huge cooperation between the two sides, but I don't think there will be any soldiers sent from the States to Taiwan.
Legislator, how imminent is the threat in the Taiwan Strait? Are we in the 11th hour?
China's threat to Taiwan has been there all the time, although there are different speculations about the imminency of China's threat. But I don't think the threat is imminent, but we had to prepare ourselves for the worst case scenario. So in other words, we had to stand by all the time, put ourselves on guard in the face of rising China's threat. But I don't think the threat is imminent right now.
Not imminent, but has it risen in the past year or so?
That's right. That's right. And as China has been increasing its military deployments on the other side of Taiwan Strait. So obviously, China is preparing itself for the eventuality of this kind of invasion.
So, Legislator, you see this as a move in response to the Chinese increasing military action?
It's not a response to just recent so-called tension in the Taiwan Strait. It's a response to the long-term trend of China's increasing military activities.
So in the end, this message is for China, so that Taiwan is ready to defend the homeland and the country's sovereignty.
By enhancing our capability of defending our homeland, we send a signal to Beijing that they had to think twice before they rushed to the conclusion that they had to invade Taiwan. So deterrence is the key word. To make sure that we have credible and robust deterrence, we have to make sure that we are capable to defend our country.
As you mentioned, to have them think twice before taking any action.
Yeah, that's right. So deterrence is in the minds of the leaders in Beijing. So we had to add more factors that China's leaders have to take into account when they make that rush conclusion and decision.